Tamasha brings together two of the most versatile actors of our time, along with a director who's given us powerful love stories that stay with you for a long time. Stories that have characters who undertake a journey, literal and metaphorical, and find themselves. Imtiaz, Deepika and Ranbir, thank you so much for joining us. I'm going to start with you, Imtiaz. Your love for travel comes across in all your stories. Your characters, like I said,
he's the reincarnation of Marco Polo.
And and like I said, they're both literal and metaphorical. A lot of times these people are either thrown out of their houses like Rockstar, or they run away from home like Jab We Met, or like Socha Na Tha, where they both go on a holiday. Is this story any different? Is Tamasha any different? Should I ask why always the same story?
Actually, this time he takes a holiday on his own, both of them, for some reason. And that's how they meet. So it's the travel that brings them together.
So you're not giving very much.
It's awesome, man. It's a huge dollop of information.
Alright, so Deepika, I'll ask you. You worked with Imtiaz before in 2009. That was a time when you were still starting out. A lot of people questioned your acting abilities. They said she's a pretty face, not too sure. But he, I think, got a lot out of you. I remember that scene where Saif comes in and he says, finally, when you're cleaning some artifact in a monument, and he says he loves you, and then you look away.
She did very well.
Yeah, that I actually remember seeing people cry in the theatre. How is it like working with Imtiaz? Is it the same feeling again? Does he push you?
Yeah, and I attribute that change in me that people feel to him, because I think he's someone who identified that very, very early in my career, when I think even I didn't have faith in myself. I give him even more credit for the fact that I don't know if many people know this, but he actually cast me in Love Aajkal even before Om Shanti Om had released.
Oh.
So it's not that, oh, she's been launched in Om Shanti Om and oh, now it's become a huge hit, so now let's cast her in this film. He had seen me around and decided to cast me opposite Saif in Love Aajkal even before that. And to me that said a lot. It gave me a lot of confidence.
And Ranbir, you worked with Imtiaz in Rockstar. In an interview, I remember you saying that you lived the life of that character for almost a month. You said that it changed you. What was it like? What's it like working with Imtiaz? Does he push you, or does he just infuse that kind of passion?
Like for me, it's the comfort of like ghar ka khana. It is like your family, because he takes care of you. He doesn't take care of you in a way that are you feeling okay. He'll make sure that he protects you. Not just as a human being, but also as an actor. What I am doing, what I am going to do elsewhere, not just in his movies. Like Deepika said, what he was to Deepika in Love Aajkal, that was her second film. Rockstar was my 6th or 7th film. And that really changed me, because he really changed my perspective of acting, to how do you approach a character, how connected you can get to a character and a film and the people working on a movie. I think I've taken a lot of positives from him, no negatives.
And Imtiaz, what's it like working with both of them together? You work with them separately. They obviously share a lot of, they share this crackling chemistry on screen. They obviously belong together, at least on screen. But so how do you mold that around the characters that you've developed for your movie?
So some trivia is the fact that actually I wanted to cast Deepika for Rockstar. Okay. That was before Jab We Met. And fortunately, I guess, the film didn't get made that time, but unfortunately for the fact that we couldn't get to work together on Rockstar. So I was like really excited to work with this new actor that was on the scene, and I knew that it's a matter of time till everybody starts to recognize her as an actor. Sometimes looking beautiful goes against an actor, because they feel that she's so beautiful, and that's just a pretty face from a pretty face is what happens. But so the next opportunity for me to work with her was in Love Aajkal, and I caught on to that. I knew the character was something which she could understand very well, because there's a silence in her, there's an understanding and an emotional understanding which she has as a person, and she is a very shy person.
I like how I'm being spoken about.
Yeah.
We'll also have Ranbir speak about it a bit.
It's extremely thrilling. It has been extremely thrilling and special for me to work with her, and actually being friends with her does not take away the awe or the enchantment that I have while working with her.
And Ranbir?
just taking what he was saying, yeah, I agree with him, whatever he says, and I have worked with
I want a copy of this interview later.
and I have worked with Deepika, I think more than you have.
Yeah.
This is our third film together. So, I've noticed in a lot of actors, the way they operate, the way they function on set, how the scene comes to them, how they translate it, what the director tells the actor, sometimes over-directs, sometimes under-directs, sometimes just leaves it to the actor. But I think something which Deepika, I don't think it's a gift. I think she has honed this skill, or she has become a very evolved person to understand it, is that you give her a scene and she's saying the dialogues and she is delivering the emotions, but even between them there is a certain emotion that you have to understand, and we all understand that, but it's very often or less that we can express it.
Both of you, and this is a question I'm sure you've been asked 1,000 times, but Deepika, I'll ask you first. You both have been in a relationship earlier, now you're good friends, but on screen you're playing lovers. Is it emotionally taxing? How does it play out on sets?
No, not at all. I mean, we get asked this question very often, and I mean, it's probably different for different people. Fortunately for us, it's panned out, I think in a beautiful way, where in spite of whatever past that we might have had, I think that we've managed to put that aside and be part of some really memorable films and memorable characters, and
people love watching you together. This is something that you'll also agree. A lot of people say that we want to see Deepika and Ranbir together. I think all your films together that you've done, both of them have done really well at the box office.
Yeah, I mean, there's no sort of awkwardness about the past or anything of that sort. I think he's played a very, very important part in the person that I am today, because I think when you're young and in a relationship, you're influenced by the people that come into your life. I think he's had a very, very positive influence in my life.
So Imtiaz, I want to ask you, how do you tap into the energy between both of them? Because they obviously share an equation. I've also heard that when you were shooting Jab We Met, so what I've heard is that Shahid and Kareena had just broken up, but regardless of whatever was going on in their personal lives, on screen you managed to get them together, and there was a lot of chemistry between the two of them. Do you tap into that, or is it something that you create?
As far as these two are concerned, see, actors work very hard. Usually it is said that it's believed by everybody that they just come and pose for pictures, etc., and the rest just happens on its own. But you can't even believe how hard and how much in a day each one of them works. Of course, they get a lot in return if things go well, but that's not what keeps them in the work. It is the thrill of that moment where you are actually performing and you lose yourself into the character that you're playing. That intoxication is what actually keeps them coming back to the set every day for years and years. And once they get that, it really becomes immaterial that they've had a relationship or are having a relationship or are going to break up, etc., etc. It is, for both of them, it is very simple. I know that both of them are greedy for that. They like that, they understand that, and once they are in that zone, nothing else matters. Apart from that, they also have a very good camaraderie. They are very familiar with each other, they understand each other, they pull each other's legs, they know that the other will not be offended by whatever they do or say. They are very giving as people to each other, and so that's all I see on set.
How much of a movie is about actors? Because you may have envisaged characters, but each actor brings their own personality, their own style to the table. How much, but a lot of times when you're writing a script, for example, you may have wanted Ranbir and Deepika for Rockstar together, but you didn't get Deepika.
Can I answer this before he does? Because I have worked with him in 2 films and she's also now worked with him in 2 films. I'll tell you something about Imtiaz. He's one director and the only one who I have worked with, maybe even Deepika has, that he has a very imaginative mind, and he has imagined Ved and Tara or Jordan and Veronica or what's the name in Lavachal? Meera. These are his imagined characters in his mind, and his imagination is so strong and real that it is not, it may be subconscious, a reference of some character he's met or a trait he's met in this woman and that woman, it's all combined. But these characters in his films are very, very strongly imagined by him.
The other way to put it is that when I'm writing, I don't have an actor in mind.
Okay.
Right. So there's only a character called Veronica, let's say, or Tara. But when Deepika comes in or Ranbir comes in, then they make it real, because imagination is always incomplete, at least mine. I feel that it's inconsistent, and you know, it's like having a body but no face, that kind of a person. But when she walks in or he walks in, then they complete it. And then, of course, everything that I have imagined actually changes to what really happens. So it's completely dependent upon my actors. More than any other film, I think Tamasha is completely dependent on the way the actors have performed. So much so that I have not, the reason why we shot linear is because I did not know what would happen in a particular scene, so I could not predict that and go ahead to shoot the scene after that.
Deepika, this is a question that I've been asked to ask you because a lot of people want to know. So you have never admitted, but reports say that you're seeing Ranbir sing, but on screen people love seeing you with Ranbir Kapoor. Do you still have that RK tattoo? And how does Ranbir sing? What does he have to, does he feel insecure about your on-screen success with Ranbir?
I think you should pass that.
Yeah,
Let it be. That's really not the scope of our conversation here.
He thinks,
but it's a question that a lot of people want to know.
Yeah, but then this is not the forum really to get into that.
But do you want to answer it?
No, I think...
no.
You've never spoken about your relationship with Katrina Kaif, but you've been photographed with her on walking out of the airport, on beaches abroad, but you guys never want to speak about anything. We've also heard reports that you're taking up an apartment in New York. There have been reports.
I wish.
So I want to know that how do you maintain a balance between trying to keep things personal and the public character with an X factor that would still sort of attract that kind of audience
You know,
interest?
fortunately or unfortunately, no, I'm not really trying to set out an image of mine. I'm just trying to live my life as a normal guy my age. You know, I'm fairly successful, I work really hard, I respect my family, I'm a good person, and I don't need to hide because I'm scared of judgment or because my personal life is taking over my professional life. Yes, I hope that doesn't happen, and I hope that my work is good enough that it overrides it.
But what I've never understood is, yes, we are, you know, in the line of entertainment and entertaining people. But I don't think it's necessary always for our personal lives to then also be used as entertainment. I don't see it happening to politicians. I don't see it happening to businessmen. I don't see it happening to sportsmen.
But you also have the paparazzi chase you. You don't have the paparazzi chase as Sachin Tendulkar when he's going
of
to
course, of course.
But there's not that much interest. It's also because
that's exactly what I'm trying to say. That's exactly what I'm trying to say. That just because we are in the field of entertainment doesn't mean that our personal lives should also be used for entertainment. You know what I'm saying? I understand that there is that people are curious, but it would be nice if we would, you know.
Okay, so
See,
we
like
won't ask uncomfortable questions. And I noticed how you're very protective about
No, it's not uncomfortable at all.
It's not
And
uncomfortable.
we
It's
are
not
professionals,
uncomfortable
like
at
since
all.
7
I'm
years,
just saying that it's not necessary.
It is
Does
unnecessary.
it make a difference to our to our work or to our career? No, it doesn't.
And what is silly is that if we give an answer, it becomes sillier. So I think it's our fault only. So you rather just like behave silly about it, dodge the question, and just slither away.
Okay, so this is our last personal question I want to ask you, Imtiaz. You're a really, really private person. So I've been doing anything on you.
Sorry, what?
I'm saying you're a really, really private person. Even if anyone goes out and does all kinds of research on you on the internet, there's nothing.
I do nothing wrong.
No, but
That's
it's not
the
like
fact.
these guys are doing anything
I
wrong
was just
either.
going to say, are you saying we're doing something wrong?
Or interesting. I'm a boring person.
That's not true.
But even I'm a boring person.
Yeah, that's true actually.
So then,
He's Jason Bourne.
Jason Bourne.
There's nothing ahead, nothing behind. His record is clear.
All right, Deepika, I want to ask you, you're a very modern day star. You've also got...
which type of question are you?
This is
Have you
about
passed
how-
personal?
This is your social media
Okay.
presence, okay? So I just want to ask you, how different is it from a Ranbir Kapoor who's not on Twitter, not on Facebook, doesn't interact with fans as much? Is there a fear of saying too much or being too accessible? You're not on Facebook and Twitter. You don't even remember who you are
Why
in
we
the
want the
movie.
nation wants to know why you are not on Facebook and Twitter.
You know, to be honest, I'm just like, I'm lazy, I'm shy, I'm scared. You know, it's like I said, I don't. You know, it's like promotion. You prepare yourself mentally. Ki, okay, now 20 days I have to promote this film. I feel Twitter and Facebook, you're constantly in the limelight, and I feel that I'm not good enough, or I won't be able. I'm not intelligent enough, or I don't have the correct thing to say, or I will be made fun of, and I'm right there. You know, so I'm happy. You know, I'm happy doing my movies. I'm happy living my life, and it's less of a burden. You know, there is no. You're not answerable to anything. You don't have a medium which people can reach out to and question you, and you have to answer. You know, if tomorrow somebody wins a gold medal at the Olympics, I don't have to tweet about it because I don't have a Twitter. You know, so I'm free.
Deepika, you're saying you're a very shy person. That's what Imtiaz also said. You said you don't really think about too many things.
See, when I say I'm shy, people don't believe me.
No, but we believe in you. But I'm just saying that you also spoken about phases in your life. You've shared some of your lows with your fans in interviews.
Depression.
Yeah,
yes.
depression, yeah. So do you think that talking about it helped you deal with it better?
I already dealt with it and then spoke about it. It's not like I was dealing with it while I spoke about it. The reason I spoke about it was because I just feel there's too many people suffering silently, and it is an issue or an illness that needs to be addressed, especially in our country, because
we consider it taboo. We think that
yes, we do.
I guess the sad part is people don't even know that they are depressed.
You know, so you're constantly struggling, you're fighting yourself with yourself in your own mind, trying to figure what is going on, and the worst part is you're asking questions and you have no answers to them. When you're physically ill, you see symptoms. When you're mentally ill, you don't see symptoms.
As someone who's directed Deepika in 2 movies, she's shy by her own admission, but she's also very open and grounded. Do you think a lot of her appeal lies in the kind of person she is? Of course, as an actor, she's good, but also the kind of person she is?
I think a lot of her appeal lies in her upbringing. I think she's been brought up to be a very real, down-to-earth kind of a person. That
very
never
Indian,
go away.
and very Indian in values. I guess that's why people connect with us, because I mean, her parents have from the upbringing, I think they've really set some correct Indian values in her, which I think we all somewhere are losing.
Practical values, like she used to travel by train, sleep on the floor, right? When she went for her badminton camp, her father was the world champion of badminton. Okay.
Yeah, you see, your father's one of the most celebrated sports persons in the country outside of cricket, and this is a country which loves only cricketers. Did you ever think of taking it up professionally or pursuing it?
I did play professionally. I played national level till I was 16. But I think maybe I wasn't as passionate about it as I was about being in front of the camera and performing. Not that I knew that I would do it well, but I wanted to explore that.
And then if you talk about
I
family
didn't allow
legacy,
myself to be a footballer because
I want to ask you this. That's
because
being
Sunil
Raj
Chhetri and all-
Kapoor's, that's being Raj Kapoor's grandson, and Rishi Kapoor and Neetu Kapoor's son come with a lot of pressure. Did you always want to be an actor while growing up? Did you think that
He
you would
was
be under
born
most
to
scrutiny?
be an actor. There's no option. There's no two ways about it.
To be honest, it wasn't such a thought or conversation in my life. For me, the biggest cookie or biscuit towards acting was that you didn't need to study, and you didn't need to have a degree, or you didn't need to go to school. I think that was something which really interested me first in acting.
Coming back to the movie, how important is Tamasha for you? It's coming on the back of a few films that haven't done too well at the box office. Because those movies didn't do too well at the box office, were you approaching this film differently?
I didn't know, because I had finished this film and then the movie is released.
Oh.
I would have worked a little harder. No, to be honest, every movie is important.
No, I don't think you go with, oh, no, my last film has not done well, so now in this film I'm going to work
I need to try harder. No?
How do you try harder? You just...
I mean, if you're honest to your work...
दो shade और makeup लगा के आता.
Yeah, if you're honest to your work, you're going to give more than 100% to every film that you do and hope that every film does well. It's not like you go on a film saying, acha, now this film I'm going to make sure it doesn't do well.
Yeah.
It's okay if it doesn't do well.
Or it's okay if it doesn't do well.
Initially, in the beginning of your career, you were choosing very good films. There were a series of films that were... And then suddenly, like with Besharam, you suddenly were wondering what Ranbir Kapoor was doing.
Yeah, like I chose Beshram and Bombay Valor the exact same way as I chose Wake Up Sid or Rajniti or Barfi. I always say that Rockstar chose me, I didn't choose Rockstar. But apart from those, these are the films I chose. And the amount of love I've got for these films, I, welcome the kind of criticism I've got from Beshram and Bombay Valor, because that's as important as the kind of praise you get. But having said that, yes, I do feel in the last couple of years, I feel that my audience may have been let down. I feel there's a lot of money riding on me. There's a lot of faith. There's a lot of expectation, and maybe I didn't meet that. And it's high time I kind of pull up my socks. But then I can't find my socks. I don't know what do I pull up, because my method or my choice or my intention is pretty much the same. It hasn't changed. I don't take my work for granted. I love my work, and I hope that I hope I do well. I hope I do well not for myself, but for the kind of love and faith people have put in me. I hope that I kind of reciprocated with good entertainment and good cinema, and I hope Tamasha does that.
And Deepika, what about you? People are saying you're on the top of your game. Every movie that you act in does well. Come awards season, you'd be bagging a lot of trophies for your role in Piku. Are you happy with the way Tamasha has turned out?
The year's not over for me. We still have Tamasha and Bajirao Mastani. I don't know. I mean, I think exactly like he said, there's no formula to a successful film or a not successful film. Nobody sets out to make a bad film. The intentions are always right, and it's always in the right place, and sometimes it connects, sometimes it doesn't connect. I think from an actor's point of view, the process of choosing a film is always the same.
Guys, Deepika is saying there's no formula for a film, but your movies seem to have a common theme. There's always a travel, that journey that we spoke about. Is
Love
Tamasha
story is the theme.
Yeah.
No, it's not that it's my shortcoming if my movies seem to have a formula. I try very hard that they don't.
But the tagline of your film says, what is
Why
it?
always the
Why
same
always
story?
the same story? You don't know.
Yeah.
Is it your love for traveling, for adventures?
See, your interests remain common. I think as you change in life as a person, then I guess that is reflected in your films as well. But it's not as though I can make any story which is completely disconnected from me and that I don't really care about.
Anything you'd like to say to the viewers, asking them to come and watch your movie, one by one, all of you?
Say.
Deepika will speak for all of us.
Hey.
Represent.
Alright, anyway, the movie, I saw the promo, it's looking very good. I'm sure it'll do well at the box office.
I hope people like the film. We had a great experience working. I had a great
We had a great time
working.
making the film, and we just really hope that it translates and that people enjoy watching the movie as much as we've enjoyed making it.
Thanks so much, all of you, for taking
Thank
our time
you.
with me.
Thank
Thank you.